Hello friends. You are watching 3AZ Vision, an innovative distance learning channel. It is most important and desired that if you are interested in improving your learnings, subscribe to our channel and click on bell icon to get our future updates. Acquisitions and mergers versus other growth strategies. Here in this model, we discuss the advantages and disadvantages of mergers and acquisitions as forms of expanding the scale of operations of an organization. We also look at the types of mergers and their purpose. We evaluate the merits of a given acquisition proposal and set out the criteria for choosing an appropriate target. There are 7 main key factors we discuss here. Number 1. Mergers and acquisitions as a method of corporate. Number 2. Evaluating the corporate and competitive nature of a given acquisition proposal. Number 3. Developing an acquisition strategy. Number 4. Criteria for choosing an appropriate target for acquisition. Number 5. Creating synergies. Number 6. Explaining high failure rate of acquisitions and enhancing shareholder value. And at the end, Number 7. Reverse takeover. Mergers and acquisitions as a method of corporate expansion. Although growth strategy through acquisition requires high premium, it is widely used by corporations as an alternative to internal organic growth. There are some advantages and disadvantages of mergers as an expansion strategy, and there are 3 types of mergers: horizontal merger, vertical merger, and conglomerate merger. Evaluating the corporate and competitive nature of a given acquisition proposal. Expansion by organic growth or by acquisition should only be undertaken if it leads to an increase in the wealth of the shareholders. There are 6 main elements involved as market power, barriers to entry, supply chain security, economies of scale, economies of scope, financial synergy, which includes tax benefits and debt benefits. Developing an acquisition strategy. The main reasons behind a strategy for acquiring a target firm includes the target being undervalued or to diversify operations in order to reduce risk. There are 2 main elements as, firstly, acquire undervalued firms, where find firms that are undervalued, access to necessary funds and skills in executing the acquisition. And secondly, diversify to reduce risk, diversifying by acquisition versus diversifying across traded shares. Criteria for choosing an appropriate target for acquisition. There are a number of different aspects to successful target identification. One important emerging need is to identify acquisitions in overseas markets. Acquirers must be able to assess the acquisition from the target's point of view, as well as from their own. But understanding the regulatory and competitive environment in another country can be complex and time-consuming. There are main 9 aspects which we explored here as: benefit for acquiring undervalued company, diversification, operating synergy, tax savings, increase in debt capacity, disposal of cash slack, access of cash resources, control of the company, and, finally, access of key technology. Creating synergies. There are 3 main types of synergy to be gained from acquisitions or mergers, that are revenue, cost, and financial synergies. Here we explore these 3 types of synergies. Firstly, the revenue synergy, which includes increased market power, marketing synergies and strategic synergies. And secondly, the cost synergy. And whereas third one is sources of financial synergy, that includes diversification, cash slack, tax benefits, and debt capacity. Explaining high failure rate of acquisitions and enhancing shareholder value. There are 6 main theories that have been put forward to explain the high failure rate of acquisitions in enhancing shareholders' value, which are: agency theory, error in valuing a target firm, market irrationality, preemptive theory, window dressing, and poor integration management. Reverse takeovers. A reverse takeover involves a large unlisted company being bought by a smaller listed company using a share exchange. The larger company will then be dominant partner in a listed company. This is both a method of acquisition and a way of obtaining a stock market listing. There are some advantages of a reverse takeover, that are speed, cost and availability. And there are some disadvantages of a reverse takeover that are lack of expertise and share price decrease. At the end, we warm welcome your valuable comments to improve our learning levels. Thanks and goodbye.